Stephen Miller says the MAGA movement changed the world. Y'all like the video right here? And check this out.
Stephen Miller has been at the president's side for a decade. And now in his role as Deputy Chief of Staff and Homeland Security Advisor, he's working to make President Trump's vision for a safer and stronger America the reality. But that task is not without its challenges. So when I sat down with Stephen this week, I asked him how he plans to overcome the opposition. Stephen, we're almost halfway through 2025. You've been around for a long time. You've been around President Trump for a long time. Give me your take on the state of things within the Trump administration 2.0, as I call it, and what are the top priorities heading into the summer?
Well, first of all, it's wonderful to be here with you. I've been around for 10 years now. Sometimes it feels like it's only been a year. I mean, just in terms of how quickly time has moved as we've gone through as a nation, this incredible revolution of common sense, as the president calls it, and the birth of the MAGA movement all the way to the height of not just American politics, but world politics, right? The MAGA movement, the Trump movement sits on top of geopolitics for the entire world as the most successful, influential political movement, changing the entire planet in terms of peace, security, prosperity. What I think about the most as I look back on this short period of time is how the president spent the last 4 years planning and preparing and getting ready for this moment, so that when he took that oath of office on January 20th, he knew exactly what he wanted to do from the moment he stepped into that Oval Office. He knew what bill he wanted to pass through Congress. He knew what he wanted to do on the border. He knew what he wanted to do on trade. He knew what he wanted to do on foreign policy, on military policy, on reforming the bureaucracy, and on fighting and draining the swamp. So we've seen more action and more activity in the last 4 months than any new administration has ever put into effect.
Let me ask you about President Trump, because as you say, you've been around for 10 years. You've seen him through a lot. What has changed about President Trump and what hasn't changed about President Trump and the way he operates in the White House?
So President Trump, I've been so blessed, so fortunate to be able to watch him as a leader up front, close and personal for 10 years, yet he built the MAGA movement from nothing, from scratch. You know, in 2016, when he first ran, I don't want to insult anybody, but I think pretty much every other Republican in that race was some version of an establishment Republican. That's all the Republican Party had to offer, was establishment Republicanism, status quo. President Trump blew up that whole entire failed system, and for the first time in our lifetimes, gave the American people a different choice.